welcome to this month's card class. So this month I wanted to make some cards using some new stamps. The new stamps are my adorable owl stamps that I just came out with. Right after I designed these cards, I had someone who's taking the class, you know who you are, who decided to buy all of the used owls. So right off the bat, I'm gonna have to make some more because they just flew off the shelf, no pun intended. All right, so to get started here, we're gonna start with this fun black and white card. So these are all of the bits and pieces that you're going to need for your black and white card. And I know this is no one's most favorite part, but we are going to be doing a wee bit of fussy cutting. So that's going to be these 3 owls here. We're gonna go ahead and fussy cut those right off the bat. Now, I have a friend who hates fussy cutting, and you guys might have a similar opinion. But she always likes to take a ton of time fussy cutting, even though she really doesn't like it. And I usually tell people that if it's taking you longer than a minute, you're going too slow. So it should just take you just a moment to cut out those little owls. These are not super complex images, so it should just take just a second to just cut around the outside there, okay? So I have 3 different little owls, and we're using these owls on all 3 of the cards today. We have 1, 2, and this cute little guy will be the 3rd one. Now, I made this a congratulations card, though if you don't want it to be a congratulations card, you could absolutely add a different sentiment instead, like a stamped sentiment, or you could do something else, it's up to you. But I really wanted to make this a congratulations card because right now, people are working on graduation cards, but also I get a lot of customers that say, I need a card idea for someone who has adopted a child. And I was like, oh, that's a really great point. I don't really have a whole lot of options for those people that have adopted. And so I've made this card in a way that it could be a variety of different themes, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we have this little rock, looks like a rock wall here. Now you could of course just take this as is and just mount it right on the front. However, I want it to look a little bit more organic. So in order to make it look more organic, I'm actually going to round the edges of some of my little stones. And I'm just going to kind of go around and just kind of round out some of these little spots so that it doesn't look so awkward and stark and just like straight lines all the way around. I like these to be a little bit more interesting looking. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut around and then I'm going to make up a word here. I'm going to squigglify the sides of this so that it's not so straight and stark and awkward, okay? So you can see what I've done there on the side here. See how it's a little wonky? Because it kind of went around the rock shapes just a little bit, okay? All right, I'm going to do that all the way around on all 4 sides. Now, everyone's rocks are going to look a little different, so your rocks are most likely not going to look exactly like my rocks, and I would hope that they don't look exactly the same, but if you're looking at that and you're like, ooh, mine look a little different, it's because they are all a little different. This comes from a giant sheet that I drew. It's 11 by 17, and then these are just parts of that. This piece is part of the large piece. So we're choosing a small piece of this for this card. Okay. All right. So to get started here, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use glue, but you can use double-sided tape if you'd like. I'm going to start out by putting glue on the back side, on the bottom, left, and on the right. I'm not going to put any glue at the top at this exact moment. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down. And I'm going to give myself an even border along the left, right, and along the bottom. I would say it's probably about 1/4 of an inch if I were to just guess, okay? Now you see we have this little peekaboo of the front that's all cut out of yours. So if you're wondering if that's cut already, it is. I did not ahead of time give you a hand punch to cut it out yourself. I figured that you would all be okay with it because I love the look of the owls in front of the moon. All right, so this is the modeled vellum. I love how it looks. It looks kind of cloudy. When I originally designed this card, I didn't have anything behind it, and I liked that it was a little translucent. I'm gonna let you guys decide if you want to keep it translucent or if you want to back it with the black, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm gonna do just a small dot of blue in each corner, and that's just enough to adhere my cloudy, foggy vellum paper in place. And as I lay that down, there's going to be about 1/8 of an inch border at the top, bottom, left, and actually on the right too, right up against the edge of the crease there of the card. Okay? All right, so once you have that on, and you can see the front of your card is now looking like this, Now we're going to go ahead and stick on our adorable little owls. So this is where you have to decide what you want your card to be. So when I made these little owls, I thought, oh my gosh, they are so cute. So I wanted one that was obviously facing left and right, but you could pair these guys together and it could be a cute little anniversary card or a wedding card and you have your congratulations at the top. How cute would that be? I love it. Or you can have, you know, maybe there's a single parent and they have a new little kid and you could have congratulations and it's adoption. That could be really cute. But the other thing that people are really needing right now is graduation cards. And so I have also included this tiny little graduation hat. So in case you are someone that needs a graduation card, check this out. So you have your little hat here with the little tassel. We don't want to accidentally turn the tassel off. So then you can have your congratulations and maybe your owl. Whoops, come on. So you have your congratulations and maybe your owl is wearing a grad cap. How cute would that be? So there's lots of different ways that you can take this card in a variety of different directions, okay? So for the top here, when I first made this card, I actually really wanted to wrap the congratulations around the top. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But if you're like, you know, I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it, that's okay. I would suggest as a secondary option is that you would just glue the part of the sentiment on the left and part of it on the right, so that it's glued onto the black and then it can go straight across your card. So it's, again, you have lots of flexibility with this card. So because I want to wrap it along the top, I'm going to put some glue on my sentiment here, but I'm only going to put glue on the top part of the sentiment because the bottom part is, it's not going to be adhered, okay? So I'm just catching just the top part of each of these letters here. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to kind of above here, I'm going to kind of curve it like this and kind of line it up kind of on the card itself. And then I'm just going to tack on where I want it to adhere. Because again, there's only glue at the top of my sentiment. And I'm going to stick that down there. Okay. All right, so hopefully it's not super messy. Okay, so now we have our congratulations. Okay, so now that you have your sentiment down, now we're going to put on our cute little owls. So I want to make this card, I'm gonna decide that I'm going to make this card just like I made my original card where I have two large owls and then like a baby owl. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put glue on the bottom part of the little owls, so then that way those can perch right in there. Actually, I'm going to put those on top so you can see their cute little feet. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, only put glue only at the bottom so you can see these cute little feet. And then we have the tiny little baby owl, and the little baby owl I'm going to put glue on, and then I'm going to just tuck that right underneath the other owl. So then that way that owl's being protected by the larger owl. Isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so if you have a white or silver gel pen, now could be a great time if you wanted to. You don't have to. You can do dot groupings around the outside to make them look like stars. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm not going to do it on this card, but I just wanted to give you an idea to show you what it looks like with the splatter or the little dot groupings, which is a big dot and a couple little dots, or no dots. But I like it that it makes it kind of look like, you know, the owls are sitting in front of a moon, which is really fun. Okay. Now on the inside of the card, we have this paper here, which has like a silver splatter, which is just really faint, so you can easily write on top of it, no problem, and you have a tiny little owl stamped at the bottom. If you don't like this, you can flip it over and stamp something else, or just mount this right on the inside. Again, I'll leave that up to you. I'm going to just adhere it with a little bit of glue, and that's going to go on the inside of my card with an 1/8 of an inch border on all 4 sides. Okay? All right. Now, the other idea, again, with your graduation cap is that you can put a little graduation cap on the tiny little owl inside. Oh my gosh, it would be so cute. Okay, but I'm going to let you guys kind of make that call on your own depending on what kind of card you're needing. All right, so now you will see here that when you close your card, you lose the texture of that amazing vellum. But when you back it with black, you can see that it really comes to life, okay? So I wanted this black to be behind here, but I want to make sure that I can't see the adhesive. So when you look through your vellum, you're going to see the shadows of these owls. Do you see that? The shadows of the owls? You're going to use the shadows as a guide of where you want to lay down your glue, so that way you can line up that circle with the circle cut out from the front. And it should match it perfectly because that is the piece that came out of the front. Okay? Once you have that down, we are all done, and that is card number 1. Isn't that such a fun card? Oh, I love it. I love the black and white. Now, if you're someone that's like, I really want to pop a color, I absolutely agree. I think that sounds amazing. A little bit of watercolor, because this is watercolor paper. You can watercolor the little owls. You can add some watercolor color to the little rocks and into the little owl on the inside. So it's going to be up to you, but I'll let you guys make that call there. All right, on to the next card.